best book of your life?
Yes.
Wow, you like that book like that?
Yes.
It inspired you, right?
It was good. About the book is when they encourage their brothers and like being a kind brother, I am a loving brother, and caring about their siblings and stuff. And yeah, that's the part.
A doctor, and Diego wanted to be a computer. And also, what was it?
Yes. Good job.
Now you tell us what you like about it.
The thing that I like about the book is after birthday, that they were caring about their siblings and encourage them. And that's all.
1, 2, 3.
And so that is my theme music that I play before we get started.
I'm getting my chest on. I'm a drummer, so I'm like, that thing kicked
And
in.
you're like, hey, let's go. So look, I needed my own theme music, guys, because it's so funny because, they were telling me like sometimes you put stuff on YouTube and they were like, gosh, and you put stuff on Facebook and they're like, that's somebody else's music. So I actually had somebody to write it. They were like, what's your style? And I was like, I like a little bit of this, and I like a little bit of that, but he did like a really, really great job. So
Love it.
welcome. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. I have this phenomenal couple here who's doing just a great thing. Again, you saw some of their kids who they are teaching. They are just dynamic. I've seen them, on different social media posts, and I love the interaction that you guys absolutely have. I always tell folks, like when I see married couples that look, like it looks like you guys are just really loving each other. I call y'all cute kids. I was like, look at those two cute kids.
I'll take it. I want to be a kid.
Yes.
So I will let you guys go ahead and introduce yourself, and we're going to talk about your program and how we begin to collaborate and how it's a phenomenal collaboration and how you're working with others. And then, of course, whoever's watching, you want to be a part of this. I want you guys to listen in. This is just an opportunity to help our future leaders and our community. And so, Vanessa, I'll let you take it away.
Sure. My name is Vanessa Short. I am the educational psychologist and program director for Brown Boys Read with Transformation Life Center. I am the co-owner with my husband, Demetrius Short. We have one beautiful daughter, Amaya Short, that's going to turn 20 this summer. That we're excited about that. She just opened her own salon suite. So we are excited about that for her journey and her future. I am excited about this program and where these boys are going, and I want to continue to push and for them to thrive in this program. Demetrius?
I love that.
Wow, thank you so very much, my beautiful wife. 25 years we'll celebrate today. I am the co-founder of Transformation Life Center and have had the joy our entire 25 years of marriage to share in working in the community with my wife. We both hail from Cincinnati and Louisville, Kentucky, and we are pastors' kids, right? So we grew up, last to leave the church, first to get there. But youth and young adult development has always been at the precipice of our heart. So this nonprofit today started as a youth program at our respected churches, even on the national level, 400 or 500 churches worldwide. And then we brought it down to just our community here in Nashville. And so I'm humbled to be the founder and CEO of Transformation Life Center. Our mission is three words: ignite, inspire, and transform lives to help people become who we know their God given dreams can become. So we're excited about this amazing opportunity to be with you, Michelle, and your great listeners today.
I love that. So, and that was the thing I was going to lead into. I knew you were going to do it. And I love it. Our mission is to ignite, like, yes, set it on fire, and inspire and transform. All of this is so important. And I love the way that Vanessa had introduced herself. She's like, I'm a wife, I'm a mom. And so a few years ago, my late husband, he had passed away, and we had raised or close to it, two girls and two boys. And having sons is very interesting, and having daughters is really interesting. And I know
Amen.
I know having two and two help to balance things out. Because it's like sometimes my girls, I'd be like, where my sons at? They a little more, they're more calm. They're just like not all of this. But one of the things, that really sparked me to create this book is that I have a couple girls books that's out there, and my girls, for the most part, they pretty much always knew who they were. And like growing up in Detroit, being a daughter, again, I'm a PK also. I'm a PK also, and just growing up in Detroit and seeing what was said and not said to our young men, and watching the way that my brothers grew up, watching the way that my dad raised us, that a lot of times, it was really hard. And, that gets passed down from generation to generation. And as I began to watch my oldest son pretty much go through school, he would give excuses. Well, I can't do this because when I look in this book, this person doesn't look like me, so I can't do that. And I'm like, you must not know who your parents are. Because if I'm correct, you could do any and everything. So with you guys creating this organization, what was at the forefront of your mind, and what is your goal?
Well, when we looked at, the overarching thing was pathway. I'm a runner, so I'm a 19-year marathon runner, and when I started connecting the dots between life and school and progress and success, there's hills, there's valleys, there's flats, there's even detours and roadblocks. And so the more we kept thinking about how can we help young people thrive through those times. Everybody's good, right? When you got money in your pocket, when you pass on the test, but how can we help students break down barriers that would prohibit them from becoming successful? Janitor, doctor, pastor, lawyer, whatever it is, everyone has to go through that pathway to success. So that's why the Transformation Life Center, it's becoming the incubator to help these students, college all the way down to second grade, along that journey. And being honest with them, it's not going to be easy. My daughter just got her keys Monday, right? My wife is looking at me. I got to go here. I got to go here. Forgot this. Got to do that. I'm going, yep, here we go with our own. But the joy for us is that we are an incubation center for big dreams. Dream big, but let's do the work. That's the part that we eagerly jump into, because a lot of these kids don't have parents, role models, or even a platform for that to happen. So with our vision to cultivate future Black leaders to positively impact their community and the world, we are there at every corner to help them maneuver through issues that come up and arise in their lives. So we created this program 6 years ago when a principal saw me running with my Black Men Run group. We are the world's largest African American run group, 60 chapters all over the world, getting Black men to walk and be healthy. She said, we can't get Black men, a shortage of Black men that come into the schools. Mom's there, right? Grandma's there. And she challenged us with tears in her eyes. She said, can you all help us with our literacy program? So we jumped in there at one school because we kept saying little boys just want to run. They want to get grass stains, but they want to run. How can we connect running and reading to make it fun for boys? And
I
that's
love
where the magic happened and said, hey, we're going to run, but before we run, we're going to read and then we're going to go outside. They're little boys, right? Second through fifth grade. It's after school. Who wants? So we came up with a creative way to inspire the love of reading through the love of running to help Black and brown boys improve reading proficiency, outrun childhood obesity, and live healthier and fuller lives. That's how we birthed this amazing program, and we are 6 years from
6 years.
that date.
I love that because I remember my oldest son, and you're right about that. It was like when it was time for a break, the girls would stay inside, they would read, and then the boys would be like, "We want to go outside. We want to go outside." And that was what one of his teachers pretty much. That's what she did. You do a little bit of this, and then you go out and you have fun and you release it, or you go out and just release all that energy and then come back and you have to come back and read. And and you talked about having the male figure there, Demetrius. I know for sure both you and Vanessa being there is just a huge testament in
Mhm.
itself. So Vanessa, with you being there, the being the wife of, and the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes these young men, they don't see a strong male figure. How do they respond to you? I mean, like are you like Mama Short? I know you're not old enough to be called Mama Short, but are you like Mama Short? Are how do the boys respond to you?
I wear multiple hats when I have to. At times I'm the teacher, I'm the principal, and I have to be the mama. It depends on what the situation is, what boy I'm handling at that moment, and what's going on. But for me, I come in just kind of taking control. I'm an A personality type anyway, but I take control of the room and I have to set order, which is what you do at the beginning. So I set the foundation of the program, whatever every cohort, I set the foundation on the first day. So what I found out is the boys respect females quicker. This is just what I found out in our program, because most of them are being raised by single parent mother homes or grandmothers. What I have seen is when the Black men come in, they have to keep repeating themselves to them multiple times. And when I notice that, I correct the behavior. I do have some behavior classes behind me as well, so I know behavior. So I have to correct that behavior because I'm like, no, you're going to respect him because they don't have males and hearing that strong voice telling them to sit down, or be quiet, so it's. But as soon as if I take the microphone, or as soon as I say, be quiet, everyone be quiet, it's like they move, they instantly move. But then when a male says it, they like, hey, they moving slow. So I have to wear multiple hats at each session. I have to wear all three of those hats. Be the principal, call you in the principal's office. I have to be the teacher, and I have to be the mom. I have to know when to switch those hats and how. And each boy is different, just like each child. However many children you have, each one is different. You can't handle them all the same way. So I have to know, and they have to get to know me as well. So I make it a habit and be intentional to build that relationship and to build that trust with them up front. And so when we started, just for example, when we started our cohort this session, one of the boys from last session, from our last cohort came in. And as soon as he came in, he was like, Miss Short, did you get your document? And I was like, what document? I thought he was talking about, his certificate from completion of last one. I was like, oh, you're talking about your document completion? And he was like, no, remember you were talking about you was going to school to get a document. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, you remembered. I said,
Wow.
yes, I graduated with my master's degree. I said, but he still remember. We have a great relationship with him. So I build that at the beginning, and that makes a huge difference at the beginning with each boy when working with them, because it is for them just to sit down and just start reading with a stranger. It is difficult and it's hard. So I try to establish and build that up front. So I wear multiple hats.
I love that. You're saying something that's just, that can't be solved, in this, in this short time, where the respect is for the female and not for the male. And so that's one thing. And then the respect for just adults in
Mhm.
general, and I've seen a lot of that. And but it's like, hey, one group at a time, one child at a time, but it's bigger than a lot of what we think. And I
Mhm.
would have to say that I've gotten a lot of compliments about my sons. I'm not saying my girls are all wilding out, but
Right.
it's something about the boys where they were like, oh, they're so mannerable. They're so respectful. Look
Mhm.
at them opening up the door. Look at them, And
Mhm.
to me, that's normal, because if you don't do it,
Right. Got
Right.
a problem.
that's all I'm gonna say to that. Because if you don't do it, yeah. So it's like, but just helping them move in different spaces, and I'm super excited. It's like I talk with my children all the time, and one of them, he knows how to respect authority, but then he's not afraid to ask for what he wants. And just having and creating such a book like this, and like I said, I've seen a few of the other books that you guys are utilizing. Like, this is just extremely, extremely important. So as we look at, what do you guys do? You guys do a lot, which I'm like, man, I was like, do they sleep? No. And so it's like, I'm like, what they doing?
What's
So
that?
it's like, we're looking at leadership. Leadership is huge. Everybody don't understand leadership. Leadership does not equal manipulation.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll say that for another conversation. But how to be a leader, a true leader. Also, I love that Black Men Run, Brown Boys Read. That's what you're talking about, the literacy, and then the health, the physical health,
Mhm.
which also with the Steps of Success 5K fundraiser, and then the virtual learning support. Again, that's, all of this is just important. So when we look at these different icons, let's look at the Leadership Academy. What does that consist of, and what are you doing to help the students?
The Pathway to Success Leadership Academy is our staple program. It's where we started, 14 years ago. I'm a Fisk University alum, HBCU. I was the alumni chairman of the Young Professionals Network at Fisk. And these college students got that degree and they thought they were ready for the world. And they learned that little degree, that little piece of paper is not going to make you a great employee at Google, IBM, or wherever you're going. And so we created a program called Pathway to Success Leadership Academy, where we take collegiate students and we're aspiring to get high school students to speed it up in workshops and boot camps where we bring them face to face with thought leaders, health and wellness experts to give them the playbook on how to be good in their education, develop the leadership skills, and what good is it to be a good student? What good is it to have a leadership skill and your health and your wellness fails you? So we take them on a holistic journey. They can go through any more than 13 to 15 workshops, Black in Corporate America, resume writing. They just went through a 4-hour session last Saturday on entrepreneurial essentials. We brought 8 guru entrepreneurs, put them in the room with these great college students, and for 4 hours they earned the good, they learned the good, the bad, and the ugly, because these kids are TikToking. They seeing these 2 million followers, and these entrepreneurs are saying, look, do you have a business plan? Do you have your EIN number? And it's just breaking it down and giving them the tangible access. So the College Leadership Academy is where we boast our Black and brown talent pipeline. Companies are now hiring out of our organization because of how chiseled and how well cultivated these amazing students. In this picture, you'll see the first ever data analytics graduate in the 150 years of Fisk University. who the
Wow.
Los Angeles Lakers hired. We're talking about Du Bois, John Lewis, who walked Fisk University. In this picture is a student who became the first data analytics graduate, and the Los Angeles Lakers hired them. You have Google, you have all types of people. They all say, if it wasn't for that leadership academy, attaching my competencies in the classroom with real life work experience, soft skills, introverts, right? Like Vanessa, who's like, how do I open up and project when I have to do a virtual? We take them through all of this and prepare them to be for their careers and job readiness. And then these amazing college students have to give us 16 hours. We don't have to force them, Michelle. They come back and serve and read with these beautiful black and brown boys. And we create a big brother, big sister with college age students reading to the next generation of college age students. So this academy is an amazing way for us to spit out the next future leaders in the black and brown community.
I love that you said that, that they come back and
Mhm.
just help out, because I remember when my oldest son was in college, and someone had, like, it was like somebody's nephew or something. He was working in the lab, and he always thought, like, man, mom and dad be on me about reading. They be on me about this, like, turn off those video games. You need to read. You need to do this. And I think the young man, he said, was either 10 or 11. And so he was asking my son, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? He was like, okay, how about you help me? I'm going to have you read this book. And while you're reading it, then I'll answer some questions. And so the young man didn't want to tell him he had a hard time reading.
Mhm.
As he began to read, he was like, are you okay? Like, do you need glasses? Like, I'm confused. Like, what's going on? He was like, these words are really hard. And he said that he had caught himself from crying. He was like,
Mhm.
he was 10 and 11, he was reading college books. And for this young man to be reading on a kindergarten level,
Mm.
he was like, I didn't get it, but now I get it.
Yes.
And he's like, and it just broke my heart. And so that this speaks to that you guys have a phenomenal program. Like you said, you don't have to force them to come back, because they see the value in what
Mhm.
you're doing. And so you guys are not only mentoring them, but then they're mentoring others. So it's like a continuous cycle.
Yes.
So Vanessa, tell us, like, some of the few things that you guys teach during this particular academy that would, whoever's listening, so if they do have a teenager who's about to graduate, or student about to graduate, or if they're going to college and they're looking for an internship, what are a couple of keys or a couple of principles that they need to be doing to help take them to that next level?
But this, the classes and stuff they offer, like I said, is like you're talking about resume, those and learning those soft skills. And first of all, we do a temperament class as well, learning
Mhm.
about themselves.
That's
Okay, a
good.
lot of them don't know who they are and why they react the way they react. So the academy also helps them to find out and to learn who they are, and then, like I said, and then to build their resume and to be able to, like I said, learn the elevator pitch, learn how to give their spiel in amount of minutes of where they're trying to go and what they're trying to do and what they want to accomplish in life. So we teach them in the academy. We teach them all of those things, those skills to have within. So
And this is important because I partnered up with a young lady that we're helping a lot of individuals who have lost their jobs.
mhm,
And it seems like it's a lot of folks who are over 40,
mhm,
Mhm.
and they haven't had to interview in a long time. And when you
Mhm.
said that power pitch, why should I hire you? And it is stated, it is known, we're like, oh, no, everybody's equal. We know better. When it comes to hiring, it's like when a woman is more so for a woman than a man, that once they hit that 40 and they haven't reached a certain level of a job, that it's like, how do they go ahead and sell themselves?
right.
And then how do they bring forth, like, energy? because again, you can sort of guess the age of a person. You'd be like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, she's as old as my mother. What can she bring? Or look, you want to have me inside in your mind. Without us, you guys would be nowhere. So it's like we're watching it on both sides, and when those millennials and Z's have that confidence, then sometimes people don't know what to do with it, and then or other times it's like you're really standing out, and they're like, we need to give those people those type of jobs because they seem very, very confident. So I absolutely love that. All right, so the next one we're going to look at is, let me go back here. Oh, there we are. All right, so the Black men run, brown boys read. Super excited about that. So tell us more. I hear it, Brown Boys Read Initiative. And I'm going to leave this right here for a minute. So tell us more about this program.
Those are our boys. This program came again from one principal seeing, the stats, 60% of the students in Nashville failed the third grade literacy test last year. 60%. And then now take the underserved community where we roll our sleeves up, low income. If the national is 60, can you imagine what the underserved community is? So this program came from a teacher saying, you know what, 73% of the school when we started 6 years ago, fathers were incarcerated. Did you hear me, Michelle? 73%. They knew where the fathers were. They were in jail. And half of the school was obese. Half of the school was obese. Two diseases, literacy and health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So we attacked, you very rarely find one program that attacks the things that we do. We do health and wellness for these boys, and we attack literacy and also leadership development. So every session with these boys, they come in and we have a reading session. So we read this amazing book, I Am Made for Purpose, and we've come up with our strategy with Miss Vanessa taking the book and combining the love of reading. When they read the session, she has comprehension questions because it's not just reading. Right now, it's can you remember? Can you remember? And we have fifth graders who cannot read. One boy told Miss Short, I ain't never read a book. What grade are you in? Fifth grade. They are passing this young man and said it boastfully. How are you in? So we just take that reading and getting them to the table. And how we get them into the table is next week, after you read, you're going to now run. And all the boys are going to go 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 miles over 10 weeks. All these boys will be able to walk or run a 5K race. And so now we're combining reading, and along that run, we're stopping saying, tell me one of the boys from last week's in that book, I Am Made for Malik, yay! And then we keep moving. So we are combining health and wellness, the walk of life, into these great, beautiful 2nd through 5th grade boys, and combining the love of reading through the love of running so that these boys can propel in their mental, their educational, and their health life. So that's this whole program. We are on week 4, and we have a reading session, a running session coming up. Shout out to our Saucony running partners. Every young man gets a free pair of running shoes. And I'll say this, Michelle, and this is $100+ value. They're getting brand new shoes. When we started the program, we weren't doing this. The boys were coming with mold on their shoes. We have boys with no shoestrings. The smell, the wearing the same clothes to it. And Vanessa's going, wait a minute. Hell, so we're watching the boys to get, and they will tell you about their home. If you listen, they'll tell you.
Tell you more than what you want to know.
They'll tell you more than what you want to know. When we saw the poverty, these young men, we cried so hard when boys are showing up without underclothes. One boy 2 weeks ago, Miss Short grabbed him, go check, he would not move. The volunteer came over red as can be and said, he doesn't have any under. Now, we don't know, did he have an accident or does he not have it? Miss Short jumped into action, and guess what happened next week? Miss Short went out and bought all the boys a Ziploc bag of undies, Vaseline, lip balm, snacks, and put those essentials into these boys' bags so that they can be confident that when they read, they don't have all those other uh, supplemental things going on in their mind. So we're attacking these boys, and number one, making them feel good. When they come in, we say, what's our mantra? I am unstoppable. I am unbreakable. I am untouchable. Say it again. I am unstoppable. I am
Absolutely.
unbreakable. I am untouchable. And then we read with them. Miss Short gives a comprehension. And then the next week they put on those great Saucony shoes. And this year, Saucony stepped up and gave all the boys' families, every sibling in their family is getting a brand new pair of shoes. Over $17,000 this year, over 133 pairs of shoes. Can you imagine that for a mom who has 4 or 5 kids?
No.
Ooh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You be like, no, y'all all need shoes.
Yes.
No, but this is huge. I mean, you said something basic, as in something as simple as underwear. I wouldn't have thought about it. I mean, and I'm being honest. I think of shoes and I think of coats, but what about all the things that's underneath? And I know I'm going to do this uh, request again, but you guys are hearing what Vanessa and Demetrius is talking about. That if you are a corporation listening to this and you have access to funding that helps diverse groups and organizations, I want you to reach out to them. You see their information at the bottom. I've tagged them in all of the platforms that this is running on. There is no reason that no young man, no young woman should not have the essentials. And so I
Basic.
have a Krista. Who's Christopher Short? Is
That's my
that your
brother.
brother?
That's my big brother.
He is awesome. He said awesome and amazing. The work of Demetrius and Vanessa. And then Pamela Harris says, hey, Vanessa and
Dominican
Demetrius. And
Republic. She's in the
then,
DR. Watching.
and then there's some other folks. Wow, this is good. This is fantastic. This is wonderful. We can all do it together because, again, can you imagine that they don't have to be concerned about food? Like you said, shoes, socks, undergarments. They don't have to be concerned about this, and then they can focus on learning.
Yes.
And as they learn, then that just goes ahead and create that creativity that's needed. It's like we all need it, but if we're concerned about paying our bills, you're like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, like, okay, I gotta pay my bill. I gotta do this. I'm not thinking about creativity. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about putting food on the
Right.
table for my child. And so all of that is just it's huge. It's huge.
And Vanessa listens, and as she talked about, she gets to know all these young men. So while the men are at the table reading, we have the ladies. And I'll say this, because people say, well, I'm not black. Can I come? I'm not a male. We bring the females, the males, the whites, the blacks. We want these boys to not be so dominant that they get a job and it's a female and they're disrespectful. So we massage that they see a mom, they see a dad, they see a white runner, they see a black runner because it's yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to whoever is in front of them. And so she watches and listens. She could tell you a young man said, can I have a bag of chips from my little sister? And it breaks your heart, the hunger. Who wants to read and focus on passing a test when you haven't eaten in a day? I'm 50 and grumpy when I don't eat. So imagine a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old who has to struggle to comprehend and read. But we are breaking that down, Michelle. Miss Short is charging. She's doing
Yeah.
some amazing things, and we're getting there.
One of the things I do when they first arrive is dealing with their social and emotional learning. How was your day today at school? Because how the morning started, how the day started is going to kind of pretty much kind of dictate how their afternoon, how our session is going to go with
Mhm.
them. So I'm always asking each one of them, how was your day today? And if they're excited, good, I'm like, okay, that was going to be good. But then I have my ones where it's like, it was horrible. It was terrible. And so I have to then dig a little deeper, and I dig a little deeper in my questioning with them so that I can then tell the volunteer how to be able to handle them for the session. Don't be
Mhm.
surprised if their head is laid down. They're tired. They're tired because of this reason. So I try to find out those things about them when they first arrive, because they just the same thing with school. When you got all these layers at home, I had a little boy that I had in the school system. His mom didn't come home last night. He told me, Miss Short, my mama didn't come home last night. Well, who got you? It's like, who got you up to get to school? My little brother. Well, how old is your little brother? He's in second grade. So, that's the stuff I'm, got to deal with. So to then try to tell him to sit down and let's read a book, well, that's a little, we just can't jump into it. I got to kind of get them warmed up, I call it, a little bit, but those are things that we deal with, that I try to find out, like I said, how that day was going before we sit down and start reading. Some of the boys, they're reading, they're confident and they're scared to read. And so they act out because they don't know how to read, or their reading is not at the level that they were supposed to be. So what do? We act out in our behavior. So then what happens? No time in the classroom, in the regular classroom, the teacher gets frustrated, but kick them out of the classroom, go to the principal's office, go to the counsel's office. Well, that gets them out of reading. So what I started to notice, what some of the boys we used to do at the beginning, they were like, I gotta go to the bitch, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. And as soon as I give them I gotta go to the bathroom. No, you don't. No, you don't have to. I know what you're doing. You don't want to show me that you cannot read some of these words. I had one little boy. When I did the basic first grade sight words, he did not know. Now he was in the third grade, but the basic first grade sight words, he did not know. And in my studies, we did, strategies. I was doing all of that with him. I was reading, and every word he kept looking up at me like I don't know it. So he needs that extra. And so in the state of Tennessee, just last year, they just adopted the third grade retention law. We just adopted that law last year, which means if the third graders do not pass the testing state exam, they will hold them back. And
wow.
That law. It's law.
It's law.
It's a law.
And that right there fired me up, because I know what it feels like to fail the third grade, because I failed the third grade. In kindergarten, teachers labeled me as a borderline student. Teachers would shame me in front of the other students, call on me when I didn't have my hand raised, knowing I didn't know the answer. Call me up to the board, knowing I didn't know how to work out the problems. So what do you think that did to me at kindergarten, first grade, at second? What you think my confidence, my level, and then I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I don't know how to do this. Then I get to third grade, and the teacher in the parent-teacher conference tells my mom, I don't have time to give Vanessa the attention that she needs. I can't give her the help that she needs. So I grew up in the school system thinking I can't learn. I'm at this age. So by high school, I graduated high school with a 1.8 GPA.
Wow.
Yet I took a hold of corporate America. So I gained skills, my skill set in corporate American finance. And that's how I developed my career after high school. I didn't go straight after college. I didn't go to college. I didn't think I was college material, but I couldn't learn. So I went straight into corporate America and worked. But I had to turn around and face that struggle, that barrier in my life. And I had to turn that around. And that's what I did. I have 4 degrees. I don't say that to brag.
Help us.
At all. I have an accounting systems diploma. I have an associate's degree in business administration. I have a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership and learning. And I have a master's in educational psychology in learning and assessments.
Top 10% at Alabama. Come on.
Because what I want to do is, and not only did I graduate from colleges, I graduated with 4.0 GPAs in top.
Come on. Come
on.
God took me from a 1.8 GPA being in the bottom 14% to a 4.0 GPA in the top 14% of my colleges.
Man.
And I did that with the help of God to give back to these students. not just to kids, I do throughout the lifespan. So when I hear 40-year-olds, oh, I can't learn that. Yes, you can. Yes, you
Yes, you
can. Let
can.
me show you how. Let me give you the strategies. Let me help you get there. But my life came full circle to give back. So this program helps me to give that one-on-one time back to those students, to give those students the confidence that they need to hear and see every time we meet. So that's why I'm passionate and I am driven with this program of the Brown Boys Black Men Run, Brown Boys Read, is because they can do it. And they just need somebody positive and somebody supportive and somebody to push them and somebody that knows some strategies that can help them and not label them with all of these titles that they get this and they can't do this because they get that. I'm tired of that. And
Look,
You see, well, I see my director. I ain't gotta say
hold on.
nothing.
You can't see my mic. Hold on, I'm trying to show the microphone. Like we gonna drop the mic. I can't even look. We gonna drop it. Oh, there you are. Boom.
All right. Next
part
week
of
we're
the
gonna have.
I'm tired of the labels.
That's
No,
our
and
wife, Michelle.
and
That's my wife.
My brother Demetrius, he popped on. He's very much into helping young men. He's in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
He's co-founder of Fubu Radio, so most definitely him watching this. This is huge. I know he's gonna call me and be like, "Okay, we need to do something with this." So I'm super, super excited that he was able to pop on, and that's what he has in here. He says, "How can Fubu Radio help?" We gonna get Demetrius and Demetrius connected, right?
Yes,
This
indeed.
is huge. This is huge. This is no joke.
Right.
Everybody needs to be a part of this. Again, if you are, yes, I want the small business owners. I want the individuals to also donate to this cause. But I also need my corporate. I need my corporate folks who are on LinkedIn to go ahead and donate to this. And if not to this one, to one that's around within your area, because this is not the only one. If you're like, oh, they're the only one, great, donate to this one. All right. Your church may have something, your community may have something, but this is huge. Like Demetrius, his name is Demetrius L. Brown. He's got, how can I help? How can Fubu help? Because it's funny, because I looked down, I was like, I'm getting a text. He was like, I'm commenting on Facebook. Demetrius, it says Facebook user. It does not have his name on there. I was like,
Look down.
I know, like zoop, zoop. But this is exciting because I know that we connected, again, like Demetrius Short, he was saying that he had saw my information on Amazon. And guess where else he looked, y'all? LinkedIn. Don't y'all be sleeping on LinkedIn.
I hunted her down. I said, wait a minute. This book is amazing.
I was like,
I got mine right here.
Hey! See, I was like, don't sleep on LinkedIn. This is just opportunity. And again, because LinkedIn is a professional platform, put your information out there, let them know that you are interested in being a part. Again, they're in Tennessee. So if you're like, well, I can't give, checks travel. Cash App is good.
Yes, indeed.
And of course they have it on their site on how to donate. This is just super great. Like I said, collaboration is really huge with me. And of course I collaborated with my youngest son on this book. And I was telling Vanessa and Demetrius that the trainer's book manual is going on sale on Amazon this weekend. Super excited about that. And then we're doing a digital portion of it where I'll be utilizing my two sons and then a couple of my friends' sons to really have people show, like, it doesn't matter what you look like. I always have the statement, God didn't make extra people. You were made with a purpose in mind. So it doesn't matter, unfortunately, if a parent is saying that you are not this, but you're that, when you are all of that and a bag of chips. You are wonderful. You're a great brother. You're a wonderful son. you're a prosperous leader. You know, I'm like, you're all of these things. And when we get it in our minds over and over again, because I have to do it, I have to do it, that I am a kingdom citizen. And underneath that, all things come to me as long as I'm following the rules and principles. But I am this. And so when God made us, what was my purpose? Am I working in my purpose? Am I walking in my purpose?
Right.
And sometimes, like Vanessa said, before they even can get to that, do they have undergarments on? Do they have, or Demetrius, do they have shoes that don't have mold on them? Do they have socks? You know, just simple. Have they eaten? You know, but then once that's there, it's like, how, you know, how far do we go? How, you know, so again, if you guys, it doesn't matter if elementary school is where things rock out for you guys, it rocks out. If it's middle school or junior high school, college, these kids need help. Okay. And I want you guys to really think, like, how can I help? They have a very solid website. I want you to go out to their website. I'm going to share the website again. I want you guys to go out to their website. And again, they have a very solid website. They have a donate, really easy. You make a donation. I know y'all be like, damn, Michelle making this into a marathon. I'm just saying, because right. And again, they are a nonprofit. So guess what? You can put it on your tax.
Tax deductible.
Yes.
Hey, Michelle, can you go to that hamburger? There's a button that says share your experience. Any organization or company that would like to, there's a little 2-minute survey that says, I want to share my experience on the website. So when you go back on the main page by the donate button, when you share your experience, we call it the Ignite Network. So you hit on the hamburger, go up right next to donate the hamburger.
They call it hamburger. Yeah, they call it
hamburger right there. So you see that Ignite Network, join our Ignite Network. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a teacher, this page right here are some of the most influential Black leaders in Nashville here, tech CEOs. This little application says, I would like to mentor, coach a college student. I would like to sponsor one. We make it very easy for you to tell us, and you sort of look how easy the form is. Tell us where you feel quickly you want to support our organization. Guest speaker. Do I want to bring this to New York? We want to bring this into different cities so we can work with your school board. We have Black Men Run, again, 60 chapters all over the world. You don't have to run. We have runners who can do that. Literacy is a disease. I call it what it is. It is a disease. If you can't read, how are you going to get a driver's license? How are you going to even do math? And what does that do? It opens up the doors for these students to get involved in so many other things that will destroy their life. But they have purpose. We just need the funding. We need the support. We need the resources to take these boys to men and help develop them throughout the life cycle of their life from second grade to college. Because Michelle, every college student tells us, we didn't want to deal with little kids. For 10 years, but we don't deal with kids. I want my college kids, I can say, be quiet, and they be quiet. I don't want it. You ain't my daddy. I don't want to hear that. But Michelle, a college student looked at me and said, Mr. Short, I met you as a junior at Fisk University in college, and you changed the trajectory of my life. I wish I had you in 9th, 5th, and me and Vanessa surrender. When a college student told you the impact of Transformation Life Center in 1 year, and that he needed me when he was in 5th grade, 6th grade, that's why we embrace Brown Boys Read, to speed up and get in front of these boys and these young ladies earlier, to create a pipeline, because our future politicians, leaders, bankers, they're right in our hands.
No, that's, you make a very good point, because if we looked at a community, creating a community, we need the folks who knows finances, so our money is not going awry. We need the folks we need the artists, because we enjoy music. Y'all heard my music earlier. Yes. We need the educators. Vanessa, you heard her story. Look, y'all just don't know. Y'all gonna see a bunch of shorts on this. I'm like, chop it up. I'm sending it.
Oh, she dropped some nuggets. I said, Lord. Podcast.
Look, y'all gonna see her stuff all over. Like, and another thing, it's like, but in the end, we all need leaders in all of these different industries and technology, and medicine.
Yes.
All of this is important. So we're gonna close this out. So I'm gonna have Vanessa first. Tell whatever you want to tell. You could talk about the program. You can inspire whomever, but leave us with some few words.
Sure. First, thank you again for having us on today to speak to your audience. We really appreciate it. And for those that are thinking and wondering, should you support Transformation Life Center? Please do. We are doing a great work. We are honest people that do write about books, and you can see our books at any time. But we hope that you support us and continue to pray for us as we do the work. It's so much that needs to be done. And I've heard the saying, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
Mm-hmm.
And that saying is so true. And I love working with the boys, our Black men, our Black young boys, in reading in that literacy area, because literacy is everywhere. I did my thesis on the motivation of Black boys reading. And the laws that they had for Black people not to read. That bothered me, that now here it is, we are free in America, so-called free in America, to pick up a book, and we won't pick up the book to read. Where before it was law, if you were found reading, you were killed. Okay. So I want to inspire them. I want to find the barriers, and I want to break down those barriers. And I would do everything in my power to do that. That is why I am continuing pursuing my education, to be able to learn and gain more knowledge, to be able to help them along the journey. And of course, I would love to be able to be involved and be in front of more boys and be able to help as many as I can. But as I told you earlier, I don't only deal with boys. I deal from birth to death. Don't tell me a 70-year-old, I'm too old, I can't do it. Oh, yeah, you can. I'm going to give you strategies. I'm going to show you how. I can tell you what's going on physically, because, Demetrius always tells me, Vanessa, I don't need to know the science of the brain and what's going on, because I'll start breaking stuff. I'll start breaking stuff down, what's happening at each age level, but how you can do it. Yes, you can. You're never too old to learn. You are never too old to learn. And don't say that you can't do it. Yes, you can. You may need to ask for help, but you can do it.
I love that. I know. Look, if you was in front of me, I'd hug you.
I'm telling you.
I'm a hugger. I'm like, oh.
Look, Michelle, can I hire you for 10 minutes a day? What's your contract rate for your husband a day? Because I need some of this motivation. The hidden jewel. I mean, again, I don't say this. I met Vanessa at 14, with 14, 15, 16 kids growing up, and to be married to her and to hear her story. I knew something was wrong, because when I married her, this girl is handling billions of dollars in corporations. But when I mentioned school, nope. And I never understood it until her mom, at her graduation last year for her master's, started telling this story. And she said, and tears rolling down her eyes, she said, Vanessa, that teacher looked at you in third grade. I didn't know Vanessa was in the room. I thought it was a third grade parent teacher conference, but she was in the room. And that teacher said, I don't have time for you. I learned, and this was just last year, Michelle, I froze. I'm videotaping her mom. I will keep this to the day I die. Her mom said, you looked at me, Vanessa, when the teacher left, and grabbed my leg and said, Mommy, am I a failure?
Ooh, see.
Michelle,
you be like, okay, so when we go,
where's this teacher at? Yeah, we about to go to Louisville. Because I found out finally last year what paralyzed my wife.
Yeah.
For 25 years. So now that I know, and for her to put all her grades, she put that teacher's she put it on a board, and we walked around, and to see her 4.0, I want to encourage everybody to you have purpose. God made you with purpose. This book that Michelle has made, when I mean we are adopting this book, She did all the work for us.
Mhm.
Vanessa's meticulous. For her to say 4 or 5 pages of comprehension questions that we don't have to write. The author pulled from the board, how are you a good brother? I said, baby, we got a Sunday school lesson here. Let's go to church. This book, and I'm just giving her a plug, will it's the first session for all the boys, day one.
Day one.
You are with your struggle, with your mold on your shoes, with you seeing your dad beat your mom last night and all that trouble, for you to see grandma and mom on crack, you, black boy, girl, white boy, whoever, you have purpose. And all we need is people like us to take time. So thank you for this book. Go get this book, read it with your children. It'll work in your home. You're going to hear more about us in the future about how we do this. Thank you all so very much. This has been amazing.
No, absolutely. I mean, I absolutely enjoy you guys. Like I said, I've been peeping out your Instagram and everything. You know, again, creating solid collaborations is huge, right? Here's how we're going to move forward. I look forward to visiting you guys in Tennessee because we coming. We coming to let y'all know.
They're going to meet the author. These boys going to meet the author. Come on.
It's like, we coming. Again, guys, don't miss out. Check the replay. I put it down below. It's also in the content on how to reach out to them. You saw their website. Don't sleep on this. Y'all know y'all got extra money. People say we don't have extra money. You know what? Stop buying coffee for a month. You got extra money. There it is. You got extra money. You know, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out with me and with my audience today. And y'all just have a super great day. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Thank you.